My name is Richard Scragg. I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Law and the head of the School of Law. So in other words, I'm the person in charge of the running of law within this university. But that notwithstanding, I will be having contact with many of you over the course of the coming year in a variety of capacities. I have here a whole lineup of people who are going to speak to you today. The talk is not a technical one. The idea of these welcomes is to welcome people who are new to the university. And that means, of course, people joining us at any stage. The great majority of you will be coming here in your first year at university, but it doesn't apply to all of you. Some of you will be transferring from other universities and joining us as senior students. Now, next week on Monday, we will have the Dean's Welcome in Legal System Laws 101 for all of the legal system class. And that, of course, unlike this elite audience, if I may say so, quite a small audience, that will be a huge audience of hundreds, and there we will deal with the technical matters related to studying first-year law in this university. Equally, for those of you at more senior levels, then those who are the supervisors of your courses will talk to you in the first lecture of the year to inform you of technicalities relative to those courses. I will say now, and I'll come back to this and speak more about it on Monday, that those of you who have chosen to study law will never be the same again. And you are embarking on a whole new way of life, and you will find you see the world through entirely different eyes by the time you finish with us at the end of the year. But that's something you'll come to understand more as the year goes on. Essentially, at this stage, in joining the university, of course, you are joining a community, but you are also joining communities within that community. The vast majority of our first-year law students are double degree students, so they are joining communities in other colleges as well. But in joining the School of Law, you're joining our community. We have our own building. We are largely self-contained. And you will find that senior students, and when I say senior, I mean really it applies even to those in their second year and will apply to you as you get into the first year, regard that building very much as their home. They see it as a central part of their lives, and that will apply to all of you. Now, as a community, of course, there are many members of it, and you'll see here I have a considerable lineup of people from the School of Law, each of whom is going to speak to you. The library is an essential part of the School of Law. It plays a fundamental role in terms of being the repository of knowledge, and library staff are actively engaged in teaching legal research skills in Laws 110. As you all know, for legal system, there are two legal system courses, Laws 101 and Laws 110, and you need to be enrolled in both of them to progress with the law degree. So library won't be speaking to you today, but you will be hearing from them on Monday. I would like to introduce other people to you, though, and I'll begin with Heather Couch and Fiona Saunders. And Heather, if you'd like to come up. Now, Heather is our academic administrator. So, Heather, if you'd like to say a few words.
Thank you, and welcome to the law school. Part of my role, and it's quite a wide and varied one, is to look after all your exam results. I also look after, and this will be something that will confuse all of you, is your tutorial enrolment. I look after the tutorial program itself, look after the tutors alongside Simon Dorset. Next week, Simon will be talking to you about the tutorial program, which starts in the third week of term for those in Laws 101 and also in the advancing courses. And Debbie, who is the course supervisor for the course, will be taking you through how to enrol online. For those of you who aren't fully enrolled, and I know there will be a number of you, we can address those issues later on. The enrolment stays open for about a week, and after that I shut it permanently for the year and I make any changes necessary. So I'm probably the first port of call if you do come unstuck trying to enrol. I also look after any disability or health related problems amongst our students, so if anything crops up during the year then please come and see me, or you're welcome to go directly to Disability Resource Services. When you're further advancing on into the years and may be invited into honours, I look after the honours students as well. So it's quite a wide task, but initially most of you will be involved with me through tutorials.
Thank you very much, Heather. Thank you. Heather is certainly a person you'll be coming across in your time with us, and starting really immediately next week. Now Fiona Saunders. Fiona is a person you will be coming across a good deal as well. Fiona is our Financial and Human Resources Administrator, but she'll tell you about how you might be bumping into her.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Canterbury. Initially you probably won't have much to do with me in the finance and HR side of things, but later on as you go through your degree you might come across me if you become a research assistant for one of our academic staff. Initially probably the most likely time you'll hear from me is as a backup to Heather. Heather will send you endless emails throughout the year that you must read. Very important to always check your emails every day. We'll be sending you emails about academic things as well as messages on behalf of LawSoc, and please check your emails daily, and also take the opportunity over the next 2 or 3 days to go to one of the student services sessions. They'll be telling you all about your IT side of things. But at the moment that probably is the only part that you'll see me for, or I'm up on the 5th floor with the rest of the admin team. If you've got any problems, if you've got any concerns, do come and see us. We're actually quite a friendly bunch, and we would rather that you come and see us and ask us something than stumble along and let it grow bigger. So come and see us on the 5th floor, okay?
Thanks for that, Fiona. Now, moving along from Heather and Fiona, I'd like to call on Margaret Ricketts to say a few words to you. Margaret is our school's academic manager, and indeed a number of you may have met her already.
Thank you, Richard. Hello, welcome to the School of Law. In each college you will find academic managers like myself and student advisors, including Mr. Dorset here, who also helps us with student advising. We're available to talk to students on all aspects of their enrolment, including degree planning, workloads and the like. So any inquiries you have regarding your degree pattern, your enrolment, coursework, you can make an appointment to see either myself or Simon Dorset at law school reception for the rest of the year, except this week when you don't require an appointment and we have what we call open door course advice. So for this week, if you need to talk to someone about your course planning, ask at law school reception on level 5 and they'll direct you, and you won't need an appointment. For the rest of the year, you do need an appointment, and once again see law school reception, and they'll refer you either to myself or to Mr. Dorset. A lot of the questions that academic managers and student advisors get asked are to do with adding and dropping courses, and I would draw your attention to the enrolment handbook, where there is a table which looks very much like this. You'll also see this all around the university. It's vital that you are aware of the dates to add and drop courses, and vital that you are aware that if you want to drop a course, not only must you do it through the online student system, but you must do it by the dates on here and in the enrolment handbook. If you drop a course after the deadline, after the final deadline to drop a course, then you'll be regarded as having failed the course, and that will go on your academic record, which can have very dire consequences for your continued enrolment. So make sure that you keep your eye on these dates, and if you think you have to drop a course, make sure you get in and drop it by the deadline and make sure that you don't miss it. Generally, the enrolment handbook has a lot of other important information that you really should be familiar with. I know it's quite a weighty tome, but do read the enrolment handbook very carefully, because there's all sorts of things that you need to know that are in there. As Heather was mentioning earlier, and Fiona, make sure that you check your email daily, because that's where much of our information is sent to you via email, and not just from us, but from sections like examinations and records. So check your email daily, and good luck for the year. Nice to have you with us. Sorry.
Now, going on from Margaret, I'd like to invite Simon Dorset, our senior tutor, to have a few words with you and explain something of his role. He's a person that many of you have a great deal to do with.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dean Scragg. I'd like to add my welcome to those you've already received. I'm a proud graduate of this university, studied law and political science here a few years ago now. My role as senior tutor sees me work with a lot of students through the course of their studies. All our full-time, full-year compulsory laws courses, so Laws 101, the 200s and Equity 301, have a tutorial program attached to the lecture program. And so in the first few lectures of the year, in the courses you're taking, details about how to enrol in the tutorial program and so on will come to you. The tutors that the School of Law employs are all law graduates, most from Canterbury, though we have a few from other universities. They are law practitioners, masters or PhD students, and they're all very much looking forward to meeting you in your different tutorial groups, and they are a really significant resource in your learning through the compulsory laws courses. So please make use of your tutorials, attend them, and you will receive some benefit, considerable benefit from that. Indeed, the law school believes that those who attend tutorials regularly increase their chances of success significantly. So, as I say, welcome to the School of Law. The tutorial program awaits you, and good luck with your studies.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Simon. Now, you'll see here on the end we have 3 men in black. And a part of the life of the law school does, of course, involve the various student organisations. LawSoc, the Students' Law Society, is one of the most significant student associations in the university. It's an immensely popular one. It has a large membership. And we have today our president, Mike Mullins, with us. There are other student organisations too, but we'll leave those till Monday. But I'll call on Mike to introduce his team to you and to tell you something about LawSoc.
Thank you, Professor. Welcome to you guys. I remember being you when I was first year, pretty nervous, pretty uncertain, but we're here to help you. On my right is Josh Morgan. He's our social officer, and beside him is John O'Boyce, our treasurer. Basically, in LawSoc, we're here to support you in 2 ways, both academically and socially. So first of all, I'll talk about the most important support, academic. We have a system known as the buddy system, and if you sign up with us, we will provide you with an older student who'll be there day and night. You can text him, email him, her, and they'll give you advice, past exam techniques, and they'll just give you day-to-day advice on how to be a successful law student. Now, second of all, we run tutorials on a termly basis where you guys come in, we'll go through past exams with you, show you techniques and show you how to pass exams basically. Now, I'd like to invite Josh up to talk about some of the social aspects of LawSoc. Over to you, Josh.
Hey guys. Oh, shit. Can't say that on the recording. In about 5 weeks or so, a lot of you, maybe not you guys, maybe the ones who didn't come to this, are going to sit around and perhaps say, I wish I had a mentor, this is a really hard degree. Not that that should put you off the degree, but what we, as Mike was saying, provide you with is a free mentor. That's someone you can come to with your problems, law problems, not other social aspects. I don't want to hear about your girlfriend. It might have dumped you on Valentine's Day. But seriously, we've got Buddy Night coming up. It's March the 3rd. We're putting $5,000 on the Bush Bar. It's a good chance for you to come and meet your buddy, so it gets less awkward when you need to text them in October with your problems. We've got Paul Williams coming, who's a guy, if you haven't heard of him, check out YouTube. Have a look at the song Slice of Paul. He's like a whiter, shorter, skinnier Snoop Dogg. Anything else for Buddy Night? No, I don't think so. Here's Jono, our treasurer, to tell you about sign-ups.
Right, guys, well, obviously to take advantage of everything we offer, you have to be a member. So basically, the university runs Clubs Week next Tuesday and Wednesday, all around, all on the lawns, wherever you can fit a club, basically, is all taken up. And we are going to be on the S Block lawn, which is right beside the library, just over there. We'll have a big blue States tent and a gladiator bouncy castle ring, and basically, yeah, you come along and have a chat to us. There's some couches, and if you sign up, it's $25, and you get a lot of cool stuff for that, and a T-shirt. Plus, you get obviously the cheaper entry into all of our events and enrolment in our buddy system. And yeah, we'll give you a bit of pizza and a coffee and a donut, and you can just hopefully it's a nice day. But yeah, okay. Hopefully we'll see you guys then. So.
Well, thank you to LawSoc. Now, there are some other matters I'm going to go on and talk about, and then after that I'll take questions. If our guests here want to stay, they're very welcome, but if you've got pressing engagements elsewhere, that's fine. And, well, I'm sure I'll be able to deal with questions at the end, so suit yourselves there. Do you want to hang on, Simon? Or, okay, in the audience, all right. People have pressing engagements, as you can see there. Okay, well, one of the things that frequently, of course, comes up from people who are new to the university is the question, what is the formula for success? And I can answer that in just one word, and the answer is commitment. Commitment. It is the person who has a great sense of commitment to what they're doing who will go on to succeed and do very well. In practical terms, this means that you do need to attend your lectures and, of course, actively work within them. Don't just sit there gawping at the lecturer as though it were some dreadful television program and you're about to drop off to sleep. Be actively engaged, thinking about what the person's saying and making notes of what they are saying. Also, following up Mr. Dorset's comments, make sure you attend your tutorials and you actively engage with them, performing all the written exercises, getting feedback on them, and entering into discussions with the members of your group. Bear in mind that universities are about self-directed learning. That's what it is to be a student. The term pupil seems to have diminished. Pupil and student are rather different things. Students are engaged in self-directed learning. So even if you attended all your lectures and had magnificent notes and went to all your tutorials and performed the exercises, that in itself is not going to be enough to guarantee your success. You must work on your own. And as a sort of a rule of thumb, if you allow 3 hours of your own work relative to every lecture session, that will be some guide to you. It does vary. There are certain concepts you will deal with in law where you will have to spend many, many hours working on them to come to grips with them. But that doesn't apply to everything. But in the end of the day, it's what each one of you as an individual needs to do to fulfill your own particular promise. Academic success involves teaching and learning. In terms of the teaching, the staff of the school will undertake that function. It's your job to do the learning, and it's the combination of those two things, the teaching and the learning, that will produce a valuable learning experience for you, which should translate into success. I would say to all of you as you come to law, and law is something you only come to at universities, of course, so it's new to all of you, come to it with an opened mind. You need to treat everything that's before you as a learning experience. One of the things about law is that it is not intuitive. It has to be learnt. The way that lawyers reason is not something that you are born with. You have to learn how it's done. And any intelligent person with application can learn how to do it. But you need to be aware of that. A consequence of it, of course, is that you may find initially with your work that you don't do very well. In fact, you may do extraordinarily badly. Now, if at that moment you throw your hands up in horror and say, well, this is far too hard for me, I'm giving up, then obviously that's the end of it. You're defeated. But if you acknowledge that what has been placed before you is hard, and then you grapple with the difficulty you're experiencing, you will go on to do very well. So law is about engaging with the difficulty that each one of you individually experiences. And if you do that, and what that means will of course vary from person to person in terms of how you tackle this. If you engage with the difficulty, you should succeed. But if you don't engage, if you actually start to distance yourself from your work, then you will find yourself going backwards. You won't advance in any way. Now, I don't say that to you because to scare you off, far from it. Frequently students say, well, first year law is hard. And whenever they say that to me, I always reply with, well, yes, you're absolutely right, it is. And that's the truth of it. There is no easy way into it. But if you engage with the difficulty you will experience, then you are putting yourself in a position to do very well. One of the great things that you do all need to come to grips with, and it's a part of this work you have to do on your own, is to bear in mind that when your lecturers speak to you, and it's in this sort of situation, of course, where you're out there and there's somebody here talking to you, they are conveying their knowledge to you. And what you're hearing is information. And the task before every one of you is to take that information and convert it into your own knowledge. So you need to be careful not to confuse information with knowledge. The world is stuffed full of information, and there are all sorts of wonderful ways of getting in touch with it in the modern world. But all it is information until you have absorbed it as your own knowledge. And that is a part of the task ahead of every one of you. We have open entry into first year law. So once you've got your basic university entrance or have qualified otherwise, you will be admitted. But at the end of the first year, we have limitation of entry into second year law. Now, this is something that the course coordinator of the two legal system subjects, Dr. Wilson, will talk to you about at length once you get into the course. But the situation is one whereby, in effect, you will all be ranked in terms of your performance by the time you get to the end of both courses. And it's the top-ranked students who will be selected, put in a position, if they want to go on with law. Now, as I say, this will be explained in greater detail as the year goes on. What I'd like to say to all of you today, though, is that if you are serious about studying law and you want to go on and complete the degree, qualify as a lawyer, you will get there. But you have to do the work to achieve it. A lot of people waste a lot of time trying to think out ways of how they're going to make the cut, as students would put it. and in fact all they're doing is taking up valuable time which they could be putting into learning the actual substance of the course and how to perform the exercises and so forth. Do that. Success will follow the work, and make sure you tackle it in that order. Those of you who are coming into the law school here at senior levels, you will already know what is what, of course. May I ask you to help those who are new, those who are coming here for the first time at first year, and extend a helping hand to them. You've heard a good deal today about how you may seek help and advice from those who've been speaking. The teachers in the course for first year law will be made known to you on Monday, and there'll be a lot more technical information, both of an administrative nature and of a substantive nature for you then. For my part, I simply would like to close by wishing all of you very well with your studies with us. I hope that you are all successes and will all pass to Laws 200, if that is your choice, if you want to go on with that degree. And I do hope that you will have a very, very positive experience within this university during your time here. Now, I am very happy to answer any questions. Mr. Dorset is still with us, and he might be able to assist us as well. So if there is anything you do want to ask, I'm very happy to respond. Yes?
Hi, who do we talk to about sorting out timetables?
Aha, well, it depends what your sort of timetabling problem is. Have you got some sort of clash there, have you? That really becomes problematic. You do need to try and sort out your own courses, because you can get to an impossible position. But if you refer to Heather Couch or Margaret Ricketts, I'd be inclined to start with Heather Couch then. You met them earlier. They will give you some advice there. Mr. Dorset might be able to add some advice as well, but basically if you've got a major clash, you're going to have to rearrange what you're taking, but that's not impossible. Any other questions at all? Yes?
Is there any way you can find out your ranking throughout the year?
Yes. Oh, yes, yes. And thank you for raising that point. You will find that you have a number of in-term assessments spread across the two legal system courses. Now, as we mark those assessments, we publish graphs showing where the different grades stand. We don't publish anything for privacy reasons, obviously, relative to individual names, but you'll know that if you've got a B+, just where you stand relative to everybody else, if you've got a C+, or so on, whatever it might be, so you can judge it from there. Approximately 200 people go on every year from first year law into the second year. So the aim is to get yourself up in that top 200. So follow the statistics we publish and you'll see just where you are. That's an important thing. I always say to students, we don't publish these statistics as instruments of torture. They're actually designed to assist students to see where they are, because it is so significant in first year law. Yes? Varies. Depends on the individual lecturer and what that person is endeavouring to achieve. And it's not just a question, of course, of material online, but also material in your actual textbooks as well. So your individual lecturers will direct you in the reading they want you to do. But may I say there, and I hope I'm not misinterpreting your question, other people's notes are not helpful. What you do need are your own notes. And a part of the pathway to success in law is, having made your notes, to read them against properly published sources. We can all make mistakes and write things down incorrectly or misunderstand something. So whatever you've got written down, you need to check against the original sources. And you'll have directions as to reading from your lecturers which will help you with that. Yes?
What
major differences like there between the first edition and second edition of the law book that you wrote at the university?
Oh, well, it's obvious you should buy at least 10 copies of both editions to ensure that you get a full grasp of the subject. In terms of the second edition, it's simply updated in terms of the substance of the law. So I suspect from your question you might have the old edition already. I would say to you, I mean, obviously I don't mean this out of any self-interest, that with any law books, always get the most recent edition you can. McDowell and Webb, the other principal book that we use as a text, has only just recently come out in a brand new edition, so aim to get that one. Yes? It's where you get the best deal, really, isn't it? The university bookshop, I think, will give you a discount. LawSoc, I'm sure on Monday we'll talk to you about that because it organises a book sale itself. So you might just want to hold on. We always do talk to students about books in the first lecture. I think you would be wise to make sure you do get, if you're doing 101 and 110, get the 2 prescribed texts. As far as the other books go, you'll find when we give you your course outline that we divide up a whole range of books in terms of headings. Now, obviously, you could spend a vast fortune on books and effectively bankrupt yourself, and we don't want to encourage you to do that. What I do suggest to students is that if there is a particular part of the course they're struggling badly with, they might like to consider buying the book we've allocated to that part of the course. All of these books will be on reserve in the library, and you can have a look at them there and make some determination of what you think will help you from that. Anything else at all? Well, I answered everything there. Anything you want to add, Simon, at all? No. Okay. All right. Well, that I think that covers me for everything I want to say. All the best to you with this and other degrees you're taking, and I hope you have a very, very good year ahead of you.